Good morning, and thank you, Richard, for the introduction and for giving me the opportunity to share with you today a little bit about the BlueTechValley, an initiative we are working on out of Fresno State, together with a range of partners throughout California. So in 2016, the California Energy Commission launched a program where they wanted to create a California innovation ecosystem for energy innovations. And they did so by creating a statewide network that would help entrepreneurs cross the valley of death in their path to get their technology from their idea to actually being a business. So why were they interested in creating this energy system? Well, they thought that, some of the barriers that are the same for all the entrepreneurs, actually, I was going to see if this one is this one, sorry. What they really wanted to do with this ecosystem that they created was to alleviate some of the barriers that entrepreneurs today face when they're trying to get their technology from idea and out to the market. And the overarching goal was really to create some better opportunities and benefit for the California ratepayers. So how could they really get some of these technologies that innovators have in the hands of the ratepayer, either if it's technology or services? It could be lower cost energy, better energy efficiency, better energy management, anything that's related to energy and a benefit to the California ratepayer. Entrepreneurs often see the same barriers when they're trying to launch their product. It can be that they come from the technical side and they don't really have the business acumen to know how to take their business from the idea to an actually business where they're making revenue. It can also be inability to really test their technologies. What are some of the services that they're looking for when they need to test their technology or get it out in a demo site or just move it further along on that path? Many of them also have financial strains. It's really difficult for entrepreneurs to find the funding they need to get that technology out there, especially in the very, very early stage. So that is all the areas that the California Energy Commission wanted these energy centers to address. So they did that by creating 4 different regional clusters. As you can see here, there's one to the south, that's the San Diego cluster. It covers the greater San Diego area and also the Imperial Valley area. Then there's the LA cluster, which is called Energize California. It's hosted by LA Clean Tech Incubator in LA. And then there's the Bay Area, which is Cyclotron Road. And that one is a little bit different because they don't work with your average entrepreneurs off the street. They only work with very high-tech technologies coming out of the national labs and trying to get that hardware commercialized and out in the marketplace. And then what they did is that they took the rest of California, 2/3 of it, and put it under the Central Valley cluster, which we have named the BlueTechValley cluster. They gave each of the clusters $5 million and 5 years to create this ecosystem of entrepreneurs, subject matter experts, investors, and testing facilities, but all with a common goal of addressing the barriers that the entrepreneurs are facing today when they're trying to commercialize their technology. They also had 2 other legs in this ecosystem that they were building. One is Navigant, and that is really more a consultant service for the clusters and for the ecosystem to address some of the issues that they're looking at. It can be how do we really quantify what the benefit to the ratepayer eventually will be when we get these technologies out? Or can we do some market research that are saying what are the trends we're seeing, just to really guide the clusters in the path of what technologies they should be looking at. The last one is probably more important. It's Calseed. They put $24 million into a fund, and those money are going to go to, in small grants, to entrepreneurs and innovators that are trying to commercialize their product. The first portion you can apply for is a $150,000 grant, and it will go to entrepreneurs that have either an idea or probably prior to prototype in that very, very early stage where it's almost impossible to find any other funding. And if you qualify and you get that 150, you can apply for an additional 450,000 to actually take your product through commercialization. There's $4 million set aside for specifically disadvantaged communities, either solutions that can be deployed in those communities or entrepreneurs that are from those communities. Last year, they got 320 applications and 24 entrepreneurs actually got funded out of those 320. They are gonna do the next round of application in January, and they're really, really pushing for seeing more activities from the BlueTechValley and from the Valley in general, because there was just a very strong bias from the Bay Area cluster, and they really wanna see much more coming out of here. So hopefully, if you know of anyone who's interested, it'll be great to get that in next year. So what we did in the BlueTechValley, because we're covering such a large area of California, 39 counties going all the way from the Oregon border to the Kern County in the south, we created a hub and spoke model and are working with 5 other CSUs as our hub throughout California. One of them is CSU Bakersfield, where we are working both with the CERC Center, but also the Small Business Development Center on campus. We're also working with Monterey Bay, Chico, Sacramento State, Humboldt, and the Business Council Small Business Development Center in Truckee. Our approach is really regional. We don't want all the entrepreneurs to come to Fresno. We really want them to grow and flourish and create their businesses in the local areas where they originally started. But we want them to make sure that they have a full view of all the resources that we can provide, and where the region can't really have the opportunities we would like to provide them with the resources and services that we have locally in Fresno. We also have a number of partners, Kern County EDC for one, but also a number of others that will that can provide different types of services to the entrepreneurs. We have a business plan competition with UC Davis. We have very strong legal assistant coming out of UC Berkeley. And with the Shots Energy Center in Humboldt, we are actually able to give vouchers to companies that want to have their technology tested up there. So just a lot of services that each of the entrepreneurs can choose from when they enroll in the program. Just briefly going over what our objectives are. We're really focusing on water, energy, and ag. It was very clear from the California Energy Commission, they wanted each hub to focus on, or each cluster to focus on what is really the industries that are dominating in your area, and this is what we have focused on. And we want to make sure we really create this rich ecosystem that will help the entrepreneurs get their product out and also eventually benefit the California ratepayers. Lastly, we have a strong focus as well on the disadvantaged communities, both to help the entrepreneurs that are from those areas, but also finding better energy technologies that can be deployed in the disadvantaged communities. Just quickly overview, and I know this is a very worthy slide, a lot of words on it, but it's just some of the technologies that we're looking for. We're looking for generation technologies. It can be storage, transmission, distribution, and end-use technologies as well. Water-saving technologies will be one because of the water energy nexus. So really a wide range of technologies will benefit from this program and will be eligible to tap into the services that we provide. Some of the things that we do in Fresno is that we always start with our TIE program, which is Technology Innovation Evaluation. So when we get in contact with a new entrepreneur or innovator, it can be someone with an idea on a paper or actually with a product that they are ready to launch or maybe already are generating some revenue. We take them through the Technology Innovation Evaluation process. It's about an hour meeting where we evaluate their technology and give them honest feedback on where we think this technology should go, if it should go anywhere, but really helping them by being honest, but also providing with what are some of the next steps they should take on this path. That is a committee of subject matter experts, both on the technical side, but also on the business side, to give them a better idea of the market product fit also. And then from that meeting, if we feel that they are a good, solid technology that we can work with and they will actually be able to take it somewhere, we create a plan for them where we help them identify some of the next steps they should take, and also where can our services be plugged into that, or where can some of our partner services be plugged in. We do a lot of training as well. We have a bunch of webinars. We have a very large service area, as you just saw, and that's why we do a lot of it online. A lot of the meetings are video conferencing as well, and a lot of our webinars, of course, you can tap into from any location. At Fresno State, we have the Water, Energy, and Technology Center, where we do have some office space available for entrepreneurs, and we also have a plug-and-play space. So if you don't necessarily want to commit to an office, but you would like to work out of the facility maybe once or twice a week or a month, you can get access to our plug-and-play space. And that's also where we have our testing and demonstration site, both in the lab, but also on Fresno State University ground, where we have a full functioning farm, for example. And then we have a bunch of events, because it's very important for entrepreneurs, as you know, to go out and meet people and get a network, maybe create some contacts, if it's maybe for sale or help or any other things that they might be looking for. So that's all part of the ecosystem that we're trying to create. I would lastly just touch on the Valley Venture Accelerator. It's part of the BlueTechValley, but it's also separately funded by a grant we got from the EDA. It's an I6 innovation grant. And with the accelerator, we take the best entrepreneurs and companies that we see come through our BlueTechValley system, and we take them through a 4 months really intense training period in Fresno, where they have to be there 2 days every month. As all other accelerator, we of course are focusing on getting them ready to pitch to investors and get that initial funding. But we're also probably spending more time on really training them into how do you create sales, how do you create growth in your own company, how do you create revenue, and how do you really grow your business. Because eventually, even if they get funding or not, that's really what's gonna set them aside. So we spend a lot of time with them on how do you do that. That's also why in the accelerator we are working with companies that are already generating some kind of revenue, because if you have to make a difference in 4 months, you have to be kind of right there where you're ready to get your market or get your product to market. We are finishing our first cohort this December, and we are looking to start the next one in the spring. But that's just another really great things that are coming out of this program, because there's no really accelerator in the Valley. So we are hoping that we can bring a lot of support to local companies that are interested in going this route. So if you are interested in getting involved, we're always looking for entrepreneurs with good ideas, innovators, small businesses that might fit in this space as well, subject matter experts that would like to connect with entrepreneurs and innovators in the energy space, mentors, investors, or anyone else that think that they would like to be part of this ecosystem. Thank you, and if there's any question, we're having a booth outside. Thank you. Thank you.